The decision has been a surprise as well as not a surprise. Choose a title that had been somewhat used against me. Maybe this is all part of a plan.
It's being said Prince Harry never expected this. After years of tension, King Charles may have finally cut him off. Completely. What triggered this alleged fallout? And why now? The drama behind palace doors is heating up. Watch till the end, and make sure you're subscribed for more royal revelations. The silence from Buckingham Palace was deafening, but intentional. No statements, no press leaks, just a quiet move that spoke louder than words. King Charles, reportedly tired of the ongoing drama, has cut off Prince Harry from royal funds entirely. For Harry, that means no more fallback, no royal backing, no financial support from the institution he once called home. Insiders say the decision wasn't a moment of anger, it was a long time coming. A calculated step by a father and a king, drawing a clear line. Not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. This wasn't about revenge, it was about boundaries. When Harry and Meghan first stepped away from royal duties, they said it was for freedom, to raise their children privately, to build something new, to live outside the spotlight of monarchy. But walking away is easy. Staying away? That's where things get complicated. They still held titles. They still had access to the royal name, the royal aura. And for a while, that helped, but Charles saw something different. A pattern. The palace believes they wanted independence but didn't want to let go of the privileges. And now, the crown is making it clear. You can't have both. Freedom, it turns out, is expensive, especially when you're living in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in California. Their Montecito estate is stunning, yes, but maintaining it isn't light on the wallet. Add private security, household staff, and 2 young children, and the costs soar. And now, without royal funding, everything must be reevaluated. Insiders say they're looking into staff cuts, budget adjustments, and even possibly offloading parts of the property. Because this isn't just about lavish lifestyles. It's about the real, everyday logistics of living without the support of an institution that once handled it all for you. For a while, it worked. They weren't just ex-royals, they were creators, trailblazers of a new kind of royalty. Oprah interviews, Netflix deals, Spotify contracts. They rebranded themselves as voices of truth, healing, and authenticity. But there's a catch. The buzz fades. The audience moves on. Contracts have deliverables. Algorithms shift. You're only as interesting as your next story. And now, the question echoing across the entertainment industry is, what's next? Without fresh content or a pivot in direction, interest cools. That puts pressure not just on their reputation, but on their revenue. This is classic royal strategy. No outbursts, no televised rebuttals, just quiet, powerful moves. Cutting off funding wasn't about punishing Harry, it was a way to send a message. The palace has remained mostly silent through years of public commentary, interviews, and memoirs. But this time, action spoke instead. Sources say the message was simple. If you've walked away, walk fully. You can't criticize the monarchy publicly and then expect it to fund your lifestyle. It was never about money, it was about principle. And now that principle is being enforced, not debated. Outwardly, Meghan has been quiet. No Instagram posts, no podcast hints, no press releases. But insiders claim this quiet isn't calm. Reports suggest she's upset, deeply, about how quickly the narrative has slipped away. Once they controlled the spotlight, now it's shifting. And it's not shifting in their favor. The silence, they say, is strategic. She's waiting, watching, maybe even planning the next move. But silence doesn't mean disinterest. In fact, it might mean the stakes are higher than ever. Because losing control of the story, that's the one thing they fought hardest to protect.
It was really hard. Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time.
He's been through something similar. He knows what pain feels like.
Behind palace doors, William has remained stoic, but not indifferent. He's reportedly been one of the strongest voices supporting Charles's decision. To him, this isn't personal. It's overdue. A matter of protecting the family and the institution from further chaos. The once close bond between brothers is now marked by distance, silence, and deep disagreement. Their paths have diverged so sharply, it's hard to imagine a reunion. And while the world clings to hope for reconciliation, those within say the bridge might already be burned, quietly, permanently. From the outside, they seemed unstoppable. But even the most carefully curated image has pressure points. The brand they built, of renewal and freedom, has been tested. When fans start wondering what they're doing next, that's when the image starts to shift. More documentaries, more confessions, or something new? That's the dilemma. The strength of their identity now depends on originality, on real innovation, because repeating the royal drama only works for so long. At some point, even loyal fans start asking, are we hearing something new, or just hearing it again? There's no denying Harry has options, but fewer than before. Some big-name deals have slowed down. The Spotify deal was reportedly shelved. The Netflix content has cooled. And now, he's facing the same pressure as any creator, to stay relevant in a fast-moving world. There's word of new ventures, maybe another documentary or something tied to mental health. But none of that will matter unless it captures public imagination. Because this time, there's no royal buzz to lean on. It's just work. And in this space, the work has to speak for itself. Behind the royal calm, there's real emotion. This wasn't easy for Charles, but after years of feeling misrepresented, he reportedly decided it was time. The family, the staff, even the institution had taken hits each time Harry and Meghan went public. It became about more than just hurt feelings. It became about survival. Charles, for all his restraint, made his move not as retaliation, but as protection. Protecting the crown, yes, but also setting a precedent that even family members must choose. Are you in or are you out? Harry is now in uncharted territory. He isn't a working royal, but he'll never not be a royal either. That space in between is tricky because the name follows you, but the support doesn't. And in this place of uncertainty, he's being forced to answer a big question. Who am I without the crown? He has the potential. That's clear. He's likable, articulate, and genuine in ways few royals have ever been. But now it's not about charm. It's about direction. What will he build? Not just what he'll say? Some say silence is a weakness. Others know it's strategy. For Prince Harry, this moment, cut off, cast out, and standing on his own, isn't just a challenge. It's a test. The kind of test that reveals character, not titles. Without the cushion of royal support or the fallback of family funds, he faces the raw edge of independence. And it's in this silence that something important can happen. Clarity. For years, much of Harry's public identity has been shaped by explanation, by trying to set the record straight, tell his side, and rewrite the royal narrative. Interviews, documentaries, podcasts, a memoir, all were efforts to take control of a story that had so often been told for him. But every attempt to explain also reopened old wounds. And now the world isn't asking for more background. It's looking for a breakthrough. Silence doesn't mean surrender. It can be a reset. A moment to stop fighting the past and start creating the future. Because real strength isn't in defending your legacy, it's in building a new one. Harry has the rare chance to stop reacting and start leading, not with headlines or exposés, but with action, innovation, and presence. He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone anymore. Not the public, not the palace, not even himself. That's the turning point. The absence of royal funding may seem like a punishment on the surface, but beneath it, there's a gift. The gift of being forced to rely solely on your own direction. When you have no one left to please, you finally get to choose your path without compromise. And this matters even more when you think of his children, Archie and Lilibet. They're growing up with a foot in two worlds, one royal, one Californian. They'll inherit not only a name, but a legacy shaped by the decisions their parents make today. And what better example could Harry set than showing them how to rise with grace, build with purpose, and live without fear of judgment? What if the next chapter of Harry's life wasn't about leaving the monarchy or telling the truth, but about mastering something new entirely? Philanthropy, innovation, education, mental health advocacy. These are not just buzzwords for him, they're passions. And in silence, he can pursue them without the distractions of criticism, headlines, or backlash. Imagine this. Instead of announcing the next move, he simply shows it. He launches a new initiative quietly. He backs causes without press releases. He creates platforms that serve people, not popularity. In doing so, he doesn't just redefine his public image, he reclaims control of his personal story. Because here's the truth the world often forgets. When you're born into royalty, your voice is inherited. But when you build something on your own, your voice is earned. Silence can be powerful, not the kind that hides, but the kind that listens, learns, and then speaks with clarity. If Harry uses this moment not to react, but to reflect, he might just become something the world never saw coming, a figure of quiet strength, not tabloid drama. Letting go of the need to be understood is hard, But sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop explaining and start doing. The royal world may have shut a door, but that doesn't mean he's stuck outside. It means he has space, finally, to walk a different road. A road only he can shape. What would you do in his shoes? Can you really build a new identity without the legacy that shaped you? Is this Harry's breaking point or his breakthrough? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that go beyond the headlines.